Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Sunday, May 14th, 2017. I want to talk about a story in the headlines in the world of professional sports. Reportedly last Sunday, a young girl, high school student basketball player, dropped dead watching a college basketball game, and she was a big fan of the local Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. This death happened in the Bay Area. The Warriors from Oakland. The story is that after her death, her father reached out to Steph Curry and said, "Will you come sign her shoes? It would mean a lot to us as a family." And Steph Curry did that. So in this story, the Warriors getting publicity, Steph Curry getting publicity, who has his own shoe. This is going to be a storyline during the game today, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Warriors and Spurs. What I want to show you here is how one of two things have happened. And if I get time, I think I'm going to call this high school and do a little bit of investigating if this is even a real student. Because here's one of the two narratives. Either this girl doesn't exist and this story is complete fiction, or this girl does exist and she was targeted and murdered for a very specific reason, which we're going to get to. So let's begin with her obituary. She was born April 21st, 2001. She died last Sunday, May 7th, 2017. This reminds me of Prince. Last year, Prince died on April 21st at age 57. 5/7, May 7th. He died in 2016. This girl died 16 days after turning 16. If you missed my work on Prince last year, I called his death in February after the ritual sacrifice of vanity before the 58th Grammys. He died by the exact numbers I talked about in February. And then the day he died, I showed how his death was a tribute to the NBA Finals. And months later, on Game 1 of the NBA Finals, it was the same date they released the cause of death for Prince. So Prince died April 21st, which is the 111th day of the year. The NBA Finals equals 111. NBA Finals, which is also fair, has gematria 57. Remember last year the Cavs won 57 games in the regular season, and I said that was a sign that they'd be winning the NBA Finals on the real King James's birthday, which they did. 57, big championship number. So this girl born on the 111th day, and then dead on 5/7, a lot like 57. Big fan of the Warriors, who've been in the last two NBA Finals, and will likely be in there again this year, unless they're upset by the Spurs. But also, the day of the passing, May 7th, 2017, that was a date with 49 numerology. Warriors equals 49. Remember, Prince died 49 days after attending the March 3rd, 3/3 Warriors game where the Warriors won 121-106 over the Oklahoma City Thunder, who they ended up beating in the Western Conference Finals. And with regards to that score of 121-106, that's 227 total points, and 227 is the 49th prime number. Warriors 49, Prince died 49 days later. Again, we're talking about the parallels between the death of Prince and this young girl. Yeah, there's a big difference. He's a major celebrity. She's not. But murder by numbers, it applies to all sorts of people. Every time these sports championships roll around, all sorts of people start dropping dead in connection. Every year, it's clockwork. And just as a reminder, the Warriors who won that game with 121 points, 49 days before Prince died, Warriors also 121. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder with 106. Oracle Arena is 106 feet tall. Last year they lost Game 7 of the NBA Finals in their 106th game of the season on the 106th Father's Day of all time. The word prophecy is 106, and Philadelphia is the original home of the Warriors. Philadelphia is named from the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction. Prophecy 106, Revelation 49 and 121, just like Warriors. Okay, so moving on. There's so much more to this. Again, she died 16 days after her 16th birthday. When you write out 16, it sums to 33. Also like NBA Finals, number of sacrifice. Again, 33. The NBA is a 33 league, one of my oldest videos. Almost every star player has a 33 name, including Stephen Curry. We'll talk a lot more about Steph Curry's name as we go through this. The girl who died, her name is Kimberly Nuestro, gematria of 90. She played for Homestead High School, Homestead 90. She was a big fan of the Golden State Warriors, Golden State Warriors 90. The Warriors have been playing the Cavs, Cavaliers 90. Remember Steph Curry and LeBron James born in the same hospital in Akron, Ohio. Last year, after the Cavs won the finals, Nate Thurmond, number 42, who had his number retired with the Cavs and Warriors, dropped dead 27 days after Game 7 where LeBron scored 27. And don't forget, just before Game 7, the actor Anton Yelchin dropped dead at age 27. He had birth numerology of 103. 103 is the 27th prime number. The Cavs won the NBA Finals in their 103rd game of the season. Their star player scoring 27, LeBron James, a.k.a. King James on the real King James's birthday. All of this stuff is biblical. King James has a holy Bible named after him. Philadelphia, named from the Bible. Gematria, this practice of coding numbers into words, very important to Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. The Jewish part of the Bible is the Old Testament. Revelation's based on the Old Testament. Revelation, the 39 books. Go back and see all my work on the Warriors and Spurs and 39 over the years. Here we are, a Warriors-Spurs NBA Finals. The Spurs, their coding has a lot to do with the Bible. It's a whole other topic as well. It's all biblical what's going on in this world. Doesn't matter if you're not a Christian, if you're not aware. This is what's going on. You want to be informed? Read the Bible, learn gematria. You'll see. I'm not saying be a Christian. I'm just saying seek knowledge because this is where the codes are coming from. Where this girl died was in Santa Clara for one more 90. Or technically, I guess she didn't die in Santa Clara, but that's where she dropped dead and stopped breathing. And then she was taken to Stanford Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. She was watching a game at Michigan College, or excuse me, Mission College, you know, biblical, Christian college. Mission College equals 67. The Warriors won 67 games this year. Blood sacrifice equals 67. Go back to the day Vanity died. I said why Prince better watch his ass and why the number was 67. Number always around ritualistic killing. Prince died 67 days from Vanity. Blood sacrifice 67 like Mission College, like Soul, like West, like Satanic. The Warriors won the West with 67 wins. We're going to be talking about this thing going on with Klay Thompson and Zaza Pachulia in 67 in just a second. Also, this girl's name, Kimberly, she went by Kim. In the article, she's referred to as Kim. This story wasn't published, wasn't mainstream news until May 11th. May 11th. I got to show you something about May 11th that I didn't write here. So, let's write Oracle Arena first. Oracle Arena equals 93. Remember the Cavs won with 93 points. The Warriors lost with 89 on the real King James's birthday. The game was tied 89-89 for a long time before Kyrie hit the big three and then LeBron made one of two free throws, which I predicted he would do while at the line to finish at 93. Go back to my videos before the Cavs and Warriors even ever met in the NBA Finals for the first time. I was talking about 93 and Saturn, the keeper of time, and why there'd be a Warriors and Cavs final in 2015. Anyway, Saturn equals 93 like Oracle Arena. Saturn is the keeper of time. And, whoops, notice Saturn, which equals 93, also equals 511. This girl's death reported on May 11th. Saturn is the keeper of time, having to do with death and judgment. It's where the symbol, the scythe, comes from for the Grim Reaper. So this girl's news on May 11th, a date with 33 numerology, like Kim, like Stephen, like name, like NBA Finals. Now look at this. She was a Cupertino girl. That's where her high school's at. Cupertino, 121. Like the name Kimberly, her full name. Like Warriors. Also like blood sacrifice. Also, Kimberly, 41. Like her last name, Nuestro. like Golden State, like Oakland. And I should mention the name King equals 41. Last year I did previews for each game of the NBA Finals, and where I said that 41 was a really big number in a certain series, later that day the game was played and LeBron scored 41 points. So did Kyrie Irving. They both scored 41. You know, I'm amazed that last year after the NBA Finals, my subscribers didn't jump up to, 10 million. And really, before that, what did I do before that? The Super Bowl before that, I said why it would be Broncos over Panthers and why Von Miller would be the MVP and why there'd be a Black Panther tribute all way before the game even happened, before the playoffs were even set back in October. How don't I have every single sports fan as a subscriber in the world? Aren't there hundreds of millions of sports subscribers? Aren't there hundreds of millions of gamblers? How come they're not all here? Called the World Series, 2 years in a row in spring training, Super Bowls, NBA championships, college championships, what's happening in the news, and a million other things. It doesn't make sense how I can only have 50,000 subscribers. Where is everybody? There's nothing else you can go on the internet and watch that's more worthy than the work I'm putting out on this channel. I know the internet's in a big place, there's a lot of information, but what I just said is 100% fact. There's not a single person in the world putting out more important knowledge than what I've been doing since 2013. So where's the people at? Also, Cupertino has gematria of 122 as well as Golden State, and let's not forget this area is on the 122nd meridian. A lot of names around here have 122 gematria, including San Francisco, which is on the same meridian. And let's not forget the 49ers hosted Super Bowl 50 by the numbers, and the winning team scored 24 points. The Broncos, who were blown out by the 49ers, 55-10 in Super Bowl 24. The Broncos were 55 years old, and so was John Elway when they won Super Bowl 50 with 24 points in the 49ers building. 24 also connects to 49. There's even more. There's even more. It's like this. Denver Broncos, 154. Levi's Stadium, the stadium built for them to win in, 154. Notice also the 46th, that was the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. Go back and see all my work on Cam Newton and Huey P. Newton, who established the Black Panthers in Oakland. Oh, shoot, why not just do it since we're already there? Huey P. Newton equals 58, like Oakland 58, like Golden State 58. 58 is the number of Freemasonry, the secret society. Are you seeing all these 58s pop up? Anyway, Cam Newton literally became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl with a Black Panther on his helmet. It's not hard to see what's going on, people. It's not hard at all. It's all a big puppet show. Remember how Cam Newton got stripped by Von Miller, who I said would be the MVP, and then Cam Newton just looked down at his feet like he was a retard? Like he didn't know it was down there? What's that brown thing on the ground? What am I doing? After the story, they should have checked out Cam Newton to see if he had Alzheimer's, because he just stared at the fumble at his feet as he watched the Super Bowl slip away. And somehow millions of morons couldn't figure out that the game was rigged. Oh, by the way, with all these 121s, Golden State, and didn't I just say this before the playoffs started? I said, watch how many times the Warriors score 106 and 121 points. They've already scored 106 and 121 multiple times in the playoffs, and they just closed out their series on the date with 58 numerology with 121 points. Let's just read the reporting. Cupertino. Doctors still don't know what caused the death of a Bay Area high school basketball player who collapsed at an AAU game and later died. Kimberly Nuestro, a captain of Homestead's high school junior varsity basketball team this past season, is being remembered for her smile and love for the Warriors' Steph Curry after she stopped breathing at a game last weekend at Mission College in Santa Clara and was pronounced dead hours later at Stanford Medical Center. I want to make a point about this girl. This girl's Asian, and so often in these bullshit stories, they say it's an Asian girl who died. Again and again. From the Boston Marathon bombing, which is straight up bullshit and propaganda, to a million other things. There was a suspicious story up here in Seattle about a bus full of Asians that crashed recently. They love to make up these stories with Asians, and it's not a coincidence. Asian equals 44, like kill, like execution. Either the 6 psychopaths are really targeting Asian people for their rituals for this reason, or just all part of the bullshit coding. And just all of this story, it doesn't make any sense. They still haven't figured out the cause of death. It comes out days after the fact. If somebody goes to this high school and knows that this is a real person, let me know. And just realize, people, even if she did go to your school, it also doesn't mean that she's dead. I mean, who's her father? Who's she connected to? She might have gone somewhere else and assumed another identity. Right now there's a campaign online to raise money, and it's raising money fast. Show you that here at the end of the video. Another one of these deaths in the media where they're asking people to go fund me. My daughter died, so send me money. I mean, how does that make sense? It's a recent phenomenon. Ever since the Sandy Hook hoax school shooting on, there's been all this money raised from fake deaths in the media. So the Cupertino school set up a memorial. I don't know how big this school is, but, you know, so many of us, we went to high schools where there's more than 2,000 students. It's like a small city. You don't even know anybody anyway. Does anybody know this girl? Photos, cards, and flowers left by students. This is what they do with all these fake deaths. They just have set up a scene. They have people plant flowers to make it seem real. I mean, this stuff goes on all the time. I'm not saying for sure that this girl wasn't ritually sacrificed. It's one of the two. She was murdered or completely bogus story. So here, a little bit more. Homestead High School has the same gematria as Bay Area High School, which is 85, like basketball, like Curry. What a perfect school for this girl who has the perfect name, you know. All of these stories, one after the next, the same. Homestead also has gematria of 153, just like Holy Bible, just like Cavaliers. And remember, all this is biblical. We already covered this. Bay Area High School also has gematria of 157, like Mission College, where she died. And it just reminded me of Steph Curry. Remember this story? November 5th, 2016. Steph Curry's streak of 157 games with made three-pointer ends, and it ended at the Staples Center. All scripted. All scripted. Steph Curry's career is completely scripted. You guys, Steph Curry is benefiting from technology, so are all of the players of the NBA. The NBA is so fake at this day and age, it's just ridiculous. You can carry, you can travel, it doesn't even look like basketball, there's no fundamentals out there. And worst of all, they're playing with balls that have magnetic technology that ensures shots go in or stay out. I've proven this way beyond a shadow of a doubt. Last year, let me take you back to last year. I'm going to drop all of these ciphers except for one. All I want is Sumerian gematria. Whoops. Hit the wrong button and messed that up. Let me do this again. I want to show you something to show you just how fake the NBA is and how scripted it is. I'm going to type the name Kobe Bryant here, 678. I'm going to type the name Michael Jordan here, 678. I'm going to type Utah Jazz here, 678. Why? Here's what you need to know. Last year, Kobe played his last game for the Lakers exactly 678 weeks after Michael Jordan played his last game against the Philadelphia 76ers. Kobe from Philly. Kobe played his last game against Utah just like Jordan once played his last game against Utah. 678 weeks apart to the day that they played their last games. And on the same day that Kobe played his last game, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson set an NBA record for 678 three-pointers made in an NBA season. Why? Because it's all scripted. All scripted. You're watching the fakest shit you have ever seen when you watch the NBA. You're not watching real men make buckets. You're watching technology ensure whether shots go in or stay out all day, all game. Because these games are scripted to the point, to the second, throughout the game. It's all planned. Every single game. And the Zionist Jews who run the NBA, in their Hollywood movies that they've controlled for years, they've talked about magnets and basketballs many times over. Movies, TV shows, Disney, they've been telling people. Also, last year, did you notice that when the Warriors beat Michael Jordan and the Bulls record, the Bulls finished their season against Philadelphia, who finished 10-72, just like the Bulls once had the record of 72-10. And in that season that the Bulls set the record, Jordan's 73rd game of the season was against Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry, who went on to win 73 games. And here, a little bit more that you should know. Notice that Kobe Bryant equals 41. We talked about 41 earlier, Golden State 41. Kobe Bryant's father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was drafted 14th overall 41 years before Kobe retired. And he was drafted 14th overall by the Warriors, who are originally from Philly. You see? You see? You see how scripted it all is? It's all a joke. It's all a joke. If you're someone who owns a basketball jersey and you have one of these players' names on your back, if you're a smart person, you're going to go throw that jersey in the garbage can right now and you're never going to spend another dollar on any of these fucking faggots, which all of them are. Every last professional athlete is a fucking faggot. They all go out there, they accept this money, they rip off their fans. These people are fucking faggots in every sense of the word. There's no other way to put it. I'm sorry. You want to go out there and waste everyone's life and realize you're part of something that's taken the time of the manpower of this world? Man, you're worse than a cocksucker. These people are fucking more people in the ass than anyone else out there. That's why they're fucking faggots. Need to bring that word back. When I was a kid, we could say that word on the playground. We wouldn't even get in trouble for it because that word had a meaning. You didn't want to be a fucking faggot. And ever since they took that word away, look at what's happened. All the boys now, they want to be girls, transgender shit. It's like being a faggot's cool. Look at the way they dress up these players like girls after the game. If you don't know they dress up these players like puppets, you better check out more of my work. You know, they do. See my work on the Rockets game and having them go out in the NASA shirt. It's a fucking joke. So anyway, Mission College, gematria of 221. Just like the Bavarian Illuminati. Number we see all the time in 6 satanic rituals. And notice the gematria of satanic is 122, the reflection of 221. Bay Area, homosexual capital where the Church of Satan was established. I used to tell the Christians to lay off the gay people, but that was 15 years ago. That was before all the boys were turned into fags, and this whole transgender shit took over, and political correctness has got out of this world, gone crazy. People need to wake up. The Zionist Jews who run the show, their favorite thing is ass fucking and sucking the circumcised dicks of babies. Gay practices, homosexual practices. And through the media, which the Zionist Jews control, again, turning more and more people into fags. Undeniable. With regards to this girl dying at Stanford Medical Center, Stanford has gematria of 34 like murder, 97 like death, 119 like all-seeing eye, 47, first championship won by the Warriors in 47, the Philadelphia Warriors. It's the 47th season of the Cavs. They said she was a sophomore, 119. Sophomore also has the gematria of 38 like finals, like death. Her father's name, if this is even a real person, Ramir Nuestro, gematria of 153. There was this thing that went viral on Twitter to raise money called Sign for Kim, 121, just like Kimberly, like Golden State, like Warriors. Excuse me, not like Golden State, like Warriors. Golden State's 122. Sign for Kim, also 58, like Oakland, like Golden State. According to reports, the shoes were dropped off at the Warriors headquarters and signed by Curry. Ramir told Prep to Prep that his daughter had previously fainted twice after physical activity and was cleared by doctors. Interesting about Prep to Prep, which they mention multiple times in this article if we read the whole thing, has gematria of 106, like how tall Oracle Arena is. Possibly more coding for the bogus story. They also mention that she has a younger sister, Michaela Nuestro, 85, like Curry, like basketball. Michaela Nuestro, 50, like Curry as well. The numerology of 55. Basketball, a game of 5-on-5. Yesterday when I wrote this fund for this girl had already raised over $10,000. Maybe raise money for a funeral, but the point is, we keep seeing these bogus stories where we know that nobody really died. I can't say that for sure about this girl, but we've seen this so many times. Nobody died, and then the media is running a campaign to raise money with Twitter. Just like this. And it's always coded out in numbers, just like this story. Now it's up to 11,840. So it's about 10 hours later. I wrote this last night, maybe 12 hours later. Raised another $1,000. And likely everyone who's contributed that has contributed to something very sick. If this girl is truly dead, her father might even be in on it. You know? A lot of sick people in this world. Selfish people. But the point to understand is these are rituals and numbers. They're not coincidental. They love these storylines. They'll talk about this during the basketball game today and what a great person Steph Curry is. Again, who is truly a fucking faggot. Just like all these pro athletes that go out there and pretend like they're doing something. All born to be. Most of them born into families that are already connected. Klay Thompson, son of former NBA player Michael Thompson. Steph Curry, son of former NBA player Del Curry. And a lot of these players who you don't even know who their fathers' names are, they're former players too. Draymond Green's father is Irvin Magic Johnson. Draymond Green on the Warriors. His father is Irvin Magic Johnson. LeBron James, his father was murdered last year after the NBA Finals. The same player who has his jersey retired with the Warriors and Cavs, that's Nate Thurmond. That's why they're all born in Akron, Ohio. But check this out. It's the 71st season of the NBA. The Warriors have been in Golden State since 1971. Pachulia in the headlines with Klay Thompson, the Warriors teammates, Pachulia 71. Big deal here is that he outscored Klay Thompson, and in the local paper they wrote, "Hell freezes over." Hell freezes over 71. Here's the whole thing. That Klay Thompson, who's a big scorer, only scored 6 points, and he scored 7 points. 6 and 7, like 67, like West equals 67, like the Warriors won 67 games. Again, it's all scripted, it's all mocking, it's all a big joke. Here's what really worries me about this story. For a few months, I've been talking about how if the Cavs make it to the finals this year, I would be worried if I was a member of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Especially if I was Crazy Bone, who's about to turn 44, the kill number. Now look, in this story with these two goons and 6 and 7, numbers connected to killing and ritual sacrifice, he's wearing a Bone t-shirt. Again, Bone Thugs and Harmony are from Cleveland. And I'll show you something about their name in regards to Cleveland. But what are the odds that in this stupid story, just more contrived propaganda, we have Klay Thompson wearing a shirt of a rap group from Cleveland. And again, all year it's looked like we're going to get a part 3 of Warriors and Cavs. Said that since week 1, when the Warriors were blown out by the Spurs. Remember, opening night of the NBA, the Cavs won by 29. The Warriors lost by 29 to the Spurs. Now game 1 of Western Conference Finals, Warriors and Spurs. Today also has the 29 numerology to open this series between the Warriors and Spurs, where they played week 1 and Warriors were blown out by 29 points. Ohio has gematria of 29, where the Cavs are from, where LeBron's from, where Steph Curry's from. So here's the thing about Bone. Cleveland's the 216 area code. Bone has gematria of 216. And remember, Game 6 last year, how many points did the Cavs and Warriors combine for? 216. Every single game is scripted to the point in the NBA. If you know gematria, you can figure out every game why the score ended what it ended. Every single game is scripted. Bone also has gematria of 36 like Cavaliers. I really do think we're going to see a death of a member of Bone and likely Bill Russell, among other people, but those are the two things I'm really looking at. Bill Russell and Bone are ripe for ritual sacrifices for these NBA Finals. Again, the NBA Finals also sums to 666. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. the NBA Finals also has the gematria of 213. See my work on the death of Len Bias 213 days after his birthday for the 86 NBA Finals, the first year that the name was NBA Finals. Len Bias 86th. In Satanic Gematria, death is 213. Seen a lot of young black men die by the number 213. They said that Zaza Pachulia only caught anchovies, and it honestly made me laugh just reading it. Anchovies has the Freemason coding 42, 147, 48, 96. I should have put up Freemason here. I'll just show you. Look at this. Freemason, when spelled correctly, 42, 48, 96, 147. Same thing. Perfect match, anchovies and Freemason, in the language of gematria. Also, the 42 stands out in a big way because NBA Finals has the 42 connection. Like fish and big fish. Klay Thompson caught the big fish. Zaza only caught the anchovies. I'm going to say one last thing, Truth Seeker. I don't normally use the word fag and faggot in my videos, but those words have a purpose, and I do mean everything I said. If you're homosexual and you're offended, you know, I don't really care if you're gay. I do believe that some people are born gay. And I used to defend gay people and say all gay people are born gay. That's what I thought 15 years ago. But now I know that that's not true. Now that I see there is a very real agenda, I mean, it's just so obvious. I grew up in a world where you went to the mall and you bought your girlfriend, you know, something at the girls' store where the girls shop, and a pretty girl was behind the counter and you checked out. This day you go to the mall and you shop at that store, there's usually 3 fags behind there. What was once one cute girl now takes 3 queers to do. And honestly, I've grown to not like gay people. I mean, here's a real story about 3 fags from the mall. A few years ago, I went to buy my girlfriend something at one of these stores, and literally 3 fags behind the counter, and they're all looking at their phone, they're all giggling, and I'm just standing there at the counter thinking, oh my God, 10 years ago there would have been a cute girl here. Now I got 3 fags giggling at their phone, and they can't, you know, serve the customer. One of them even had the audacity to look up and say, oh, just a minute. Just a minute? How about get the fuck out of the store and let's get the cute girl who used to work in here? Not 3 worthless faggots. You know what I mean? And that's what you see in this nation. More and more worthless people, more and more homosexuals, more and more morons. This is the agenda. Turn the whole nation into a bunch of girls to make it more easily ruled over. I do this work because I'm looking for the soldiers, the people who want to fight back. And I don't think there'll be too many gay people, you know, that are up for the cause. I'm not talking about the lesbians, though. You know, they're a whole nother breed. We'll probably have all sorts of lesbian soldiers out there. And, you know, for all you sensitive, politically correct people, I used to have a woman who was a lesbian from the Bay Area who was following and helping out. She doesn't like that I call all these trolls in my comments fags. You know, if you want to give up the research because you don't like or you're too into political correctness, you're never really going to help out with anything. Time to wake up and see where we live. When I was growing up, you didn't want to be a fag. You didn't want to be called a fag. And it was a better world back then. Now it's a society of pussies, losers, politically correct morons. Just gets worse every day. These sports games get worse every day. And I'm just fed up with it, Truth Seeker. I'm fed up with all of it. You know, people trying to put out videos of me calling the trolls faggots and saying, see, what kind of person is Zach? He calls people fags. Yeah, you're goddamn right I do. Sick of living in a world of fucking faggots. Where's the men at? All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.